Welcome back to Talking Hip Hop. I'm your host, JustKeekz, and today's guest is Mrii.
Distance, it got me feeling away. Don't even know what to say, but you got me living. You got me living in pain.
Mrii, founder of ProdByMrii, is a music producer, sound engineer, singer, and DJ. She is also the host of showcase festival The Mixdown. She started ProdByMrii in 2018. During that same time, she attended Fanshawe's College and studied in the music industry arts program. She enjoys supporting other local artists with their music production and helping them discover their sound. Please welcome to the show, Mrii.
Thank you so much. Girl, you really know.
Yes, I did my research.
Yes.
So how's it going? How are you feeling?
Feeling really good. I'm really happy to be here right now.
Yes.
And grateful for you to have me on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, everything's just been pretty
I'm excited to dive right in because I know, so you're a music producer, sound engineer, DJ and singer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, like, what order did everything fall in? Because I feel like they're so intertwined. Was it singing and then that bled into DJing? Like, in what order did everything fall for you?
So for me, I started singing since I was, like, before I could read, you know?
Yeah.
So I grew up in a family where they taught Indian classical music and they also hosted events and had a music school. So growing up, like, music and shows and stuff was, like, normal to me. That was just second nature for me, performing and all that. And then, so, like, the foundations and fundamentals for music was already, like, within me. And as I grew up, like, in middle school and high school, when I was doing music in class, I was, like, really fascinated by it because, like, now I was, like, open to, like, pop, hip hop, R&B, jazz, and all these different kinds of music. And, like, I have this foundation to it already. So I was, like, translating, like, the music that I learned and trying to understand the new music.
Yeah.
And it was, like, adding up and stuff. It was just, like, really cool to me. So I just kept getting deeper into it. And then it wasn't until about grade 11 when in high school I had a really good music teacher.
Okay.
He supported me a lot to do live sound in school because we had, like, a AV club and stuff. So I started doing live sound, and I started doing that with my dad as well at the same time. And that's what kind of got me, like, a foot into the engineering world. And after that, I started following Chantel Jeffries on social media around that time. And I was like, whoa, this girl is doing, like, everything I want to be doing right now. She's really, like a cool DJ and stuff. So I went to this, what's it called, like a workshop at Long and McQuaid. They were doing, like, a free workshop for DJing. And then this guy was teaching how to DJ, or showing us. And I was like, oh my God, I need to do this. So then a little while later, I saved some money and I bought, like, my first DJ controller. And luckily, like, I had some people that needed DJs, like, for their events and stuff.
For sure.
So, like, straight in, like, grade 11 and 12, I was, like, doing a couple events and stuff, learning already. And then, like, as I was DJing, production kind of ideas started coming to me. I'm like producing stuff as I'm DJing, you know?
Exactly.
And then it was around the same time that Control by SZA dropped.
Oh, that was nice.
I was, like, listening to it so much, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I found a voice. Like, growing up, I didn't really have a voice with the music. It was just, like, practicing. But that album, like, really gave me the voice for, like, where, like, how I can express myself with the music and, like, the sound as well. Everything about her, you know, I just love her a lot. And yeah, so I opened up Logic Pro. My dad had it on the computer at home, and I made my first beat then. Yeah. And then just to finish it off, like, it was around the time, like, college applications started in grade 12. I had no idea what I was going to do. But one of my good friends, Trayson, told me about this program at Fanshawe College. And then me and my dad went to check it out. It was everything and more, you know? And that's when, in 2018, when I, like, just, like, deep dove into everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because what I'm hearing from you is this is something that you started doing as a child. Like, it was really, like, you were heavily influenced by music from a child. Your parents were also really into music, and I guess that kind of birthed your journey with music. So something that I did actually wanted to know is, because don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women DJs, there are a lot of women sound engineers, but it still feels like it's outnumbered by men, and it's a male-dominated career. So with all that being said, how important is it that, like, I guess what I'm asking is, how important is it that we see women in positions and careers that society's always said, oh, you can't do? Because you're literally breaking barriers by doing sound engineering, DJing, and a lot of the times, you know, my aunt, she's a DJ, but a lot of the times it's like men doing this. So I think that's really awesome that you're representing something much greater. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it's really, really important, like, just to get, like, where I am right now, like, getting there's been so many experiences I've had with, like, dominating males and people just not seeing my worth for my work, where it's like they just see the girl, you know, like, what do you know? But it's so important, like, as much as I put it out there and, like, show myself as, like, I'm a girl and I'm doing it, there's more girls that are into doing it, that want to do it, and, like, feel like they see that they can do it as well. And, like, it just becomes all the more accessible, and it's becoming normalized as we go. And it's still not as normalized as it should be, because there's people telling me, like, oh, it's so hard to find a female DJ and engineer, and I'm like, girl, they're literally everywhere. But you know, like, slowly it's becoming more and more common and normalized, which is great.
That part, exactly. And I really wanted to know, like, who inspires you. I know you mentioned Chantel Jeffries when you first followed her. She was someone that you took inspo from and was like, hey, I want to do what she's doing. But is there anyone else that really inspires you in your work?
Yeah. So there's a couple people. There's Wanda Girl. She's crazy, like, straight from Brampton too.
Yeah.
Like, yes. There's Wanda Girl. This artist named Mrii. They're really talented, like, melodically, production-wise. Like, they do everything as well. And then who else? SZA, like I mentioned. Just her music and the way she expresses things through her melodies are crazy. And then Janae Aiko as well.
She's really dope too.
She's dope.
She's a really good artist. I love how soft her voice is. It's like, it could put you to sleep, but you also want to, like, be awake and listen to it.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned that, like, as a child, that's when you found music, but, like, were you interested in DJing as a child, or was it just singing?
It was just singing. And if I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really interested in it growing up, like, up until high school or middle school. It was more like, it's one of those things, you know, like, people parents put their kids in these classes, like, and you gotta do it.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, I grew up in the house and, like, they were teaching 100 different kids every week. So they're like, how come you don't know, you know? Like, so I kind of just had to do it. But in a way, I also loved it because it was just naturally, I loved it. And then I didn't even know DJing and all that stuff, any of that was accessible to me until high school. Yeah.
And so, like, what genre do you resonate most with? Because as a DJ, you know, you're playing all types of different genres, different styles of music. But what is the genre that I feel like you resonate most with?
So when it comes to me personally, it's alternative R&B.
Oh, of course.
So we're talking Frank Ocean, Tyler, Ombre, who else? Cash Page, Summer Walker a little bit. Like, they really hit. But also, like, as a DJ, you know, like, there's a lot of different genres of music that I really find myself resonating with as well. This is more like for when I'm DJing though. Afro beats, soca.
Oh yes.
R&B, old school R&B.
Oh, old school
love
90s
it.
R&B.
Yeah. And
The
hip hop,
best.
like the term future.
Yes.
Like, I gotta play that.
Of course. I'm so happy you said old school 90s R&B because like, I can never get enough of it. Like, I can hear it over and over again, and it's like I'm listening to it for the first time.
Yeah, you just can't get sick of it.
Oh yeah, like Jodeci, Aaliyah. Oh man. I also wanted to know, because I know you recently posted to your IG like a day in the life. What is a day in the life like for Mrii? Like, what is that routine? Because again, you have so much that you're juggling with your music career. So What is that like, and what kind of challenges come with doing so many things at once?
So one of the biggest challenges I'll say is like not getting the right amount of sleep, or like not eating at the right times and stuff sometimes. But and also like not getting enough time to like see my friends all the time.
Oh yeah.
But a typical day in the life, if I have a show, I have a specific day, like a type of day, and then if I don't have shows, it's like a different type of day. But for normal days, it's like I'll wake up, go to the gym, and then I have a studio at home. So I'll be working out of there almost all day until like around 7 or 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll either be mixing songs, making posters for upcoming events, communicating with artists, yeah, like getting inspired sometimes. So that's like a normal day. It's pretty calm and quiet.
Yeah.
But then other days when I have shows, I'll wake up, I'll just do my personal routine, you know, get ready and stuff, prepare my outfit and all that for the show, and prepare my equipment. And then after that, it's like the day just like flies right by me, you know, drive to the gig. Most of them are in Toronto, so I just make my way there, and then I'm just there like, oh, here, set up, DJ gig, all that, you know?
Yeah, no, I really love that, because I feel like your routine and just your day in the life is very creative. Like you're constantly doing something creative. Even like when you mentioned sometimes you're making flyers, you know, you're in the studio locked in for like hours. So with all that being said, what are the perks of this job? Like what kind of things are, or like what's the best part about what you do?
The best part is that it's really freeing. And I'm not really bound to that much of like a structure, or like there is structure, but it's not like any specific thing that I need to follow per se. And that's like, I think that's the best part, because I can just flow in my own way, and then everything's just gonna be created to match me, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something that I feel everybody has a calling and a purpose, but what is the most fulfilling thing about what you do? Is it like seeing the audience vibe out to your song? Because you do a lot of performances at cyphers and such.
Yeah.
Or is it, you know, maybe helping another artist produce a track? Like what brings you the most joy and fulfillment? And it could be something not music related. What brings you the most fulfillment and joy?
The most fulfillment, it's like seeing like a change in people. Every time I went to a concert and felt like a chemical change inside of me, I stuck with that feeling, like, and then to see like that happen in other people, it's the biggest thing for me. So if I was to make somebody's night like the best night by playing a specific song, that's like the biggest thing for me.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I also know that you host and have your own showcase festival called the Mixdown. Tell us more about the Mixdown.
The Mixdown. So originally, I wanted it to be like an online podcast, like similar to the Color Show, and also to this, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And I was planning to do something like that around COVID. And like a second part of that my dad suggested was to like do a show after. But the way it played out, the show came first, and I still haven't gotten around to doing the podcast or interview side.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I want to come on your podcast.
Yes, gonna have you on there. But yeah, so then the first thing, and like it kind of was easier to do the show too, because there's less organization, or it's just a little bit easier, I guess, like to me. And yeah, so how that came about was I hit up like my closest friends that are like really dedicated artists. Like there's a lot of dedicated artists, but there's like artists that are actually like putting their all into making their career like their career, like their artist career, their thing. So I hit them up and asked them like, hey, I'm hosting a show, perform. And they're like, yeah, they're down, you know? And then, yeah, I also got Trayson or Child to help me out to curate the first one.
Nice.
And I met a lot of new great artists.
Yeah. I'm also someone that loves supporting local artists, and I think that's something we both have in common. Like you even creating this showcase to help uplift other artists, I think that's really dope. So talk a little more about how important it is as a city, as a community, that we support the local artists before they become global, because today, you know, people are only going to support who's in the mainstream, who's in front of the camera. No one's taking a look at the person that has dope music, super talented, but may not have the exposure or a lot of followers. So how essential is it that we support local?
So essential. Like one of my main like goals with the Mixdown as well was to like give these really, really talented artists like a professional platform. You know, like when you see things on social media and stuff, people swipe away so quickly if it's not matching like their ideal view of what's like good and like up to like the industry standard. So I really like to be able to give them that opportunity to like to get to that level. Like even if their work is really good, sometimes they don't have the quality or like the showcasing, the finishing. So I really like to provide that with that.
Absolutely. And then also you mentioned how you got into singing, you mentioned how you got into DJing, but music production and sound engineering, how did that fall into your lap?
So that I learned at college.
Okay.
So when I first got there, luckily one of the first things I learned was everything I needed to know about Logic Pro, the software that I was using, and that really set me up to like be able to create and translate my ideas into the software without like any like blocks, you know, like, and it was pretty helpful. And engineering, like they really like dove into all the little details and like scientific things with engineering. And like since I had an ear for it, just learning this technical skills and stuff just allowed me to go for it.
And if you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be?
Tyler, the creator.
Tyler, oh my goodness, I love him.
Yeah, me too.
He's so creative. His music is just amazing. Like,
He's crazy.
what's your favorite Tyler, the Creator album?
Cherry Bomb.
Oh, okay, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I liked Flower Boy.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite songs off of that was Glitter. What is next for Mrii? Like, what big projects do you have coming up? It could be something outside of music. What is next for you?
Next for me, the biggest thing I can say right now is there's 2 more shows for the Mixdown coming up.
Okay.
On November 26th.
Stay tuned for that.
December 17th.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be there.
Yes.
So where can people go to tap in, follow you, book you for their next event?
Yeah.
Where can the people go to follow you on socials?
You can follow me on socials at ProdByMrii. So ProdByMrii, ProdByMrii. Or you could visit my website, ProdByMrii.com. Same as my Instagram, ProdByMrii.com. And you'll find everything you need to know there.
Nice, nice. Make sure to book her for your next event. Tap in with Mrii. She has some dope things coming up. She's not just a DJ, she's a singer, she's a sound engineer, she's a music producer, and who knows what else is in your future. So tap in with Mrii, founder of ProdByMrii. I'm your host, JustKeekz. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, keep talking hip hop. Peace.